I remember once when I got caught out there. I was a young man, college, and just randomly this guy was harassing this girl, but he was harassing her in a way you could tell it was unwelcome. And I don't know, I am definitely not the dude with a cape and an S on his chest. Like, I don't really be trying to get into other people's business. I just keep it moving. But I don't know, something in me that day told me to intervene. I don't know what I was going through. So I got in the middle of it. And of course, like things like this do, when you decide to poke your nose at other people's business, it got hostile. It escalated very quickly. And the dude, for whatever reason, he thought that I was, I don't know, on the same level as his girl or this random woman. So he thought that he could talk to me and put hands on me in the same manner. I beat that boy's ass. Problem is, the young lady that I took up for, that I defended, even when he pimp slapped her. Like, you ever seen somebody get slapped with the back of a hand? It is gruesome. It is like, yeah. He slapped taste buds out of her mouth. And here I go, Captain Saver 304 with a cape on to get in the way, and hey. So she ended up being concerned about him and wanting to call the cops on me. So I got out of there. I'm a black man that just beat the hell out of this white boy close to a college campus. Yeah, I got to go. Because I did not want to see the consequence for what happens when you do the right thing. Hello, Governor. This is Rakai Steed, new from the Ville. And we're here to talk about a very special treat. Very, very special, yes. The Doctor Who movie. Now, does it have a title? Not really. It's just Doctor Who, the movie. Done in 1996. It was in the wilderness period. Because at this point, Doctor Who's been off the air for a few years now. And the movie was done as an effort to reboot or kind of reimagine Doctor Who. Starts off with the 7th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy. He is transporting the remains of the Master to Gallifrey from Skaro. The Daleks killed him. They put him on trial, executed him. Somehow, some kind of way, his remains get out of the box. They form this like snake-like thing. I mean, just the CGI in this movie is god awful. And I know it's 1996. That was a minute ago, but damn. Like, this has all the trappings. Everything about it says TV movie. And I know we're in a new millennium, but man, I've seen better people do better graphics and stuff on their phones than was in this movie. Like, whew. Anyway, the Master infects the TARDIS. It has to make a crash landing in San Francisco for some reason. He lands in Chinatown. And as he is walking out of the TARDIS, there is a drive-by shooting on the TARDIS, and they're looking for this young Chinese American, kid who's running from the gang. There's a drive-by shooting, and they shoot the seventh Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, dead. I can't even put into words how awful this has started. You can tell there are Americans involved with this. They shot the movie in Vancouver, in British Columbia, in Canada, and at this time is the only episode, whatever, that had been shot in America. The only one that's ever been shot in Canada. A drive-by shooting. That's what we're gonna go with. Word. Okay. The doctor goes to the hospital. His doctor, Grace, she is a cardiologist, heart surgeon or whatever. She tries to operate on the doctor, but of course she gets it wrong because nobody knows that he's Gallifreyan and has 2 hearts. So he dies on the operating table. Because he died, she gets canned, she gets fired. The doctor regenerates in the morgue. The little Chinese kid is with him that brought him to the hospital. Stole all his stuff, said he was like family or family friend or something, stole the doctor's things. The doctor regenerates into the 8th Doctor, Paul McGann. Paul McGann wakes up, he has amnesia, he recognizes Grace, the doctor, and he sticks with her. Meanwhile, the Master found his way out of the crashed TARDIS. He infected Bruce, the EMT, who was the driver, who is played by Eric Roberts. What are we doing? Eric Roberts, yes, that Eric Roberts, the brother of Julia Roberts. It would be easy to diss Eric Roberts and say that all the acting and the talent in that family went to Julia, but Eric, in his day, was a decent actor. I mean, he's been nominated for an Oscar, and he's one of like only 3 pairs of siblings who were both, the siblings have been both nominated for Oscars. He was nominated for some movie, Runaway Train or something like that in '85. Yeah, but he's been relegated to not even B-list movies like D and Z, towards the end of the alphabet. It's not good. And in this movie, he shows why. It's his rendition of the Master. Anyway, long story short, he does what the Master does, tries to take over the Earth. The Doctor has to stop him. Grace helps him. We have a car chase and a chase on a motorcycle with an ambulance. And I was like, wait, is this Terminator 2? Are we doing this again? We have a romance, a drive-by shooting. I mean, for a Doctor Who production, it's about as American as it can get right now. It is god awful. And it reeks of TV movie. It just, Anyway, the Doctor, of course, saves the day. Grace helps him save the day. The Master is vanquished again. This was supposed to be the start of a new series, but surprise, surprise, the movie didn't do well. Who would have figured? So it never happened until we got the official reboot in 2005 with what they call New Who, which is where Centel and I started. And if you don't know, go into the description, see the reaction that this media therapy deep dive is based on, where Centel and I reacted on his page. We've done a lot of Doctor Who and a lot of other things, so go check it out. I love my quotes, and the quote I'm going to use here is another Mark Twain quote. He says, "You can never go wrong by doing right." The other quote I'm going to use today is by General Norman Schwarzkopf. He says, "The truth of the matter is, you always know the right thing to do. The hard part is just doing it. I like both these quotes because they're right. In this world that we live in, it's just so easy to turn your head, forget it, don't even think about it. It's not your business. It's hard to do the right thing. I was having a talk with Centel and Chuck and some of the other members of the Geekish Network, and I was like, why do we waste our time doing the right thing? Because everything that the media shows us, again, the media shows us, is that the people who are not doing the right thing, the people who are doing wrong explicitly, and there's not even a debate about it, are having a grand time. They're having a wonderful time. They are prospering. Meanwhile, those of us who are doing right are languishing. We are on the struggle bus, and the struggle is real. Why did I have to intervene in that? Listen, I know plenty of men who don't think that it's okay to hit a woman. And I don't think it's okay to hit a woman. But I'm of the position that you don't put your hands on me, I won't put my hands on you. And while I am not saying it is okay to hit a woman, I am saying it's always okay to defend yourself. If you don't want to get hit back, you should hit nobody. And you should not just be a woman and haul off and start whooping a dude's ass and beating on him and hitting him upside the head. And then when he hits you back, you can't play victim and be like, oh, but you're a man and you're not supposed to put your hands on people. You put your hands on people, they put the hands back on you. Now that might be a controversial statement. And no, I never put my hands on a woman. I don't believe in it. But part of that is because I know who I am and I know what I'm capable of. The other part is I'm not going to allow a woman to put her hands on me. Don't do it. And I think that's all about what you allow. I was flabbergasted, to say the least, that this woman who I defended stopped this man. You should have seen, like, she damn near came up off her feet. He backhanded her so hard. Like, in my mind, all I heard was him saying, where's my money? Because that was a pimp slap. But it was wrong. Damn it, it was wrong. If you ever feel that angry, and especially in a relationship with a woman, something like that, you walk away. They're putting dudes in jail for less. And you are so tough when you're out of here putting your hands on a woman. You're going to mess around and go to jail and you're going to beat a woman. When one of them big dudes got you holding his pocket, walking around the cell with the end of a mop on for a wig. Dudes be liking to sag their pants. Now you sagging so you can show that ass. Like, that ain't the life you want. I ain't going to prison for nobody. Nobody. Ain't gonna do it. Why is it so hard to be righteous, to do the right thing? You know, people love quoting Martin Luther King because he did the right thing. But I don't think you really understood. They had people, grown-ass people, turn hoses on you, sick dogs on you. I can't even imagine the stuff that people went through the civil rights movement. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine what people went through in slavery. Can't imagine. You've seen it. I remember watching The Passion of Christ, and they whooped Jesus' ass for about 4 to 5 minutes, and I cried like a little girl with a skinned knee. I think they, in real life, they like beat him for a whole day. No, sir. Even though this Doctor Who movie was awful, the one thing that I got from the Doctor, and that I always get from the Doctor, is the Doctor is dedicated to doing the right thing. Now, the way he goes about it sometimes might not be right, and he is good for having a wake behind him. He brings chaos and destruction, and even the doctor drops some bodies. And he's good. He'll save the many. But some people do get hurt in the process. I'm going to leave you with this. My favorite verse in the Bible is one that I reach to daily because it strengthens me. It's a great verse. New Testament's Galatians 6:9. And let us not grow weary from doing good, for in due season we will reap a harvest, as long as you do not give up. Don't fret. Don't worry about what you're doing, as long as you continue to do good. And don't give up. Sometimes every day it's hard to walk this walk and live this life. And you might want to succumb to just doing a teeny tiny bit of evil, a little bad. But don't do it. That's all I got. I don't, this is not super deep or anything like that, but not a good movie. Now, if you're a Doctor Who fan, you definitely should check it out. It's not good. It's not. But it was able to give us Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor, and it is almost criminal that he was so underused in the Doctor Who universe. As terrible as the movie was, he was great. His wardrobe was awful, though. They had him looking like an extra in Interview with the Vampire. Why he looked like Lestat? Let's just stop it. Ugh. But he was great, and he would have been a great Doctor. If they had actually rebooted the franchise, he would have been great. He really would. This is Rakai Steed, New from the Ville. Make sure that you like, comment, and share this as much as possible. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit the button and subscribe. And just remember that whatever you do, it should always be about this. But at the end of the day, it's gotta be about this.